I'm moving, I'm moving, I'm moving, I'm moving, I'm moving, I'm moving.
What's poppin', guys? It's your boy JayThat'sMe. The WWE Draft should be scrapped entirely, never to exist again. The draft should specifically have nothing but NXT talent. You pick 20 people, a couple of tag teams from the men and women, a couple of factions, and a couple of men and women that you don't mind putting in the rest of the draft pool. You allow Raw to pick 10, you allow SmackDown to pick 10, and that is it. Then, if you don't have any plans for certain people on Raw and SmackDown, you move them back down to NXT for a while. That's exactly what you do. And that's what the draft should absolutely consist of. Seriously. This show sucked. It sucked hard. Absolutely was a waste of time. It was worthless. It was pathetic. Foul. Boring most of the times. Oh, boy. So I'm going to go over the supplemental draft that took place on Raw Talk. And then I'll go ahead and go into the show from there. So, Raw selects Dana Brooke, Nikki Cross, Johnny Gargano, Los Lotharios, Humberto Carrillo, and Angel Garza. Akira Tozawa, Piper Niven, Xia Li, Tegan Knox. Send her back to NXT, please. Emma and Riddick Moss. And then Odyssey Jones is now being called up, as well as Jinder Mahal. But Jinder Mahal was in NXT just for a little short time. Didn't do really much anything there. So that's decent that he's back on Monday Night Raw. And I like Jinder. So I don't care that the IWC geeks and marks hate him. Who cares? I love me some Jinder. He's really cool. I like him. Odyssey Jones being on there, I don't know. I would like for him to have stayed in NXT for a little bit longer, in my opinion. But, Vince could be high on him. You never know. Vince could very well be high on him, and he could be pushed. They could probably look at him as the next Mark Henry, which is what he actually reminds me of. He reminds me of a younger Mark Henry. So they could very well push him. It's just, I don't know. Ever since he went down with that leg injury, I don't know, man. We'll see where things go. But Odyssey Jones, I like him, but I don't think he's ready yet. I just don't. I would have liked him to be in NXT for at least another 6 months to a year at least. That's what I would have done. So, SmackDown got... Oh, God. Oh. Oh, my God. Oh. Oh, man. I'm laughing because this draft was supposed to be game-changing, right? So SmackDown got Tamina. Get the fuck out of here with that shit. Really? That's why I had to laugh. Tamina. Get her the fuck out of here. Seriously, just put her as a backstage producer or something. Or a writer. My God, get her out. Oh my God. I am so tired of Tamina. She should have been gone. I mean, they released Nia Jax. You can't release Tamina? Seriously. And SmackDown got Grayson Waller, which is cool. That's great. So I could see Grayson Waller doing some good things on the main roster. Him being on SmackDown is great. I could see him being in a lot of great feuds. He could definitely challenge for that U.S. title. So that was cool. And then supposedly we got your free agents. So we got Baron Corbin, Cedric Alexander, Shelton Benjamin, Elias, and Zion Quinn. And they're all able to join free agents. Brock Lesnar, Omos, and Mustafa Ali. Are you serious? You could actually ship Zion Quinn to the main roster. You could put Cedric and Shelton Benjamin on NXT. You could put Baron Corbin in NXT, send him back down there. And you could put Elias in NXT. Same thing with Mustafa Ali. And then you could put Omos on, I guess, SmackDown. Or no. Actually, no. You could put Omos in NXT as well. Because Von Wagner, he is a free agent as well. It's like, no. It's like, you could put him with The Miz, and you could have him be Miz's new heavy. That's exactly what you could do with Von Wagner. The guy couldn't cut it in NXT. I don't know how the hell he's going to survive on the main roster. I don't know. I couldn't tell you. I couldn't tell you at all. But, you know, those were the supplemental picks. Don't really matter. Who cares? Let's go ahead and get into Monday Night Raw for May the 1st, 2023. Man, the year's gone by so fast. We're almost halfway through the year. Damn. So we got a really long segment with Triple H, Paul Heyman, Seth Rollins. It was just long. So, I'm not gonna go all over it. Over it all. So Triple H, he just basically just said we have to lay some ground rules and everything else. They said now the second half of the roster is going to be selected tonight, and then there'll be a supplemental draft. So, Rhea is going to be on Raw. Austin Theory is going to SmackDown. Seth Rollins is going to Raw. And Charlotte Flair is going to stay on SmackDown. Who cares? We all knew all this was going to happen anyway. Common sense. So then Triple H, he introduces Paul Heyman. He comes out. The two of them, they hug each other. They shake each other's hands. So Paul Heyman gets into the ring. He says that he serves as the special counsel to your tribal chief, Roman Reigns. The tribal chief has asked him to address a number of business items for the entire WWE universe to revel in his wisdom. Item number 1, Roman Reigns, Solo Sikoa, and Paul Heyman have been drafted to Monday Night Raw. To Friday Night SmackDown. That leaves us to determine the fate of the Usos. The Usos did not win back their titles this past Friday, from Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. Paul Heyman will address them tonight in private. The Usos will address their problems this Saturday in Puerto Rico when they team up with a problem-solving Solo Sikoa and they face Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens, and Matt Riddle. These items will not be addressed by your wise man tonight, but 1 week from this Friday, on SmackDown Live, Heyman, he forgets the city, but he hopes it's not instead of Texas. Roman Reigns will take care of all business items. One of them, as a bit of preview, is that hunk of a beautiful gold up on the podium right there. Wouldn't that be relevant around the waist of your tribal chief? So the crowd boos. We're almost at 1,000 days into a historic title reign. Talk about undisputed. Not just 1 or 2 titles. He can have 3 titles. If you create a championship, Roman will take that title into the main event. Reigns will not compete for that title because he's not on Monday Night Raw. The worst part about that is the children in the locker room think they're flapping their gums about Reigns. These people should have known better. These men that need to start acting like men, they're freaking jokers and clowns. So then out comes Seth Rollins. Gets a huge pop and reaction. So Rollins asks Paul why he has a long face. Today should be like Christmas. Reigns has been drafted to SmackDown while Rollins is still on his show, Monday Night Rollins. Roman doesn't have to run from him anymore. As for Heyman, he doesn't have to waste all the energy pulling strings backstage to make sure he doesn't get a title match again. Heyman can make use of all the extra energy to make sure the bloodline doesn't go poof right in his face. So Rollins says Heyman is a spoiler guy. Rollins knows he loves a good spoiler. So now champion Rollins is going to win the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. The entire world is going to see what a world champion looks like. Heyman takes his phone out, takes a call. So he's talking to Roman Reigns because he's saying, "Yes, my tribal chief." Rollins says it's hard to have a phone call with an entire arena full of people singing. The crowd starts singing, and Heyman shouts he can't hear his tribal chief. So Heyman's listening to Roman, and he puts his phone down. So Paul Heyman approaches Seth Rollins and says he's pissing off his tribal chief. Rollins feigns sadness. If Reigns doesn't like that, he really won't like this. How long does Texas think it'll take him to get Heyman down on the canvas so he can stomp his big bald head into the canvas? And then he counts to 2, and then Solo interrupts, and then they stare each other down. And then Heyman says Roman told him that all the strings are being pulled. When we get back from a commercial break, the following match will be confirmed for Fort Worth. It'll be Seth Rollins going one-on-one with Solo. Rollins says we don't have to wait to make it official. Rollins simply accepts the challenge, and then Heyman pulls Solo away. They leave the ring together. So, okay, little opening, but a little bit too long. This went on for a while, for whatever reason. Waste of time. So we see footage of Cody Rhodes arriving to the arena. Adam Pearce tells Cody Rhodes that Brock Lesnar is here and doesn't want anything to escalate. So Rhodes, he walks off angrily. Who cares? The Raw and SmackDown, they have draft rooms. They're shown separately. And then NXT superstars are shown at the Performance Center. They're shown as well. First match of the night, Damage Control, Bayley and Dakota Kai versus Raquel Rodriguez and Liv Morgan. Damage Control gets the win. Who cares? Not important. So Brock Lesnar, he was shown earlier, arriving to the arena. So Brock Lesnar, The Undertaker, basically. So Adam Pearce walks up to him and tells him it's a huge night and wants to keep the peace. Lesnar, he laughs, and then he says, good luck with that. So Booker T and Sharmell, they're out next on the stage. So this is the second round of draft picks. Raw selects Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens. SmackDown selects the Usos. No brainer there. The Judgment Day, they're going to stay on Raw. Duh. The Latino World Order, they're going to go to SmackDown. Duh. Again, waste of time. Who cares? Ugh. Next, Braun Strowman and Ricochet versus Alpha Academy. Every damn week, we see Chad Cable in a damn match. Every damn week. So basically, Ricochet gets the win here. Who really cares? It's not really that important. I don't know why Braun Strowman and Ricochet are still a thing. It doesn't make any sense. Why not put Ricochet maybe on NXT, and you could have Braun on Raw by himself? That's what I would have done. Again, it doesn't make any sense. Like, Braun is somebody that you could actually build back up and put him in that main event scene again. Like, seriously. Ugh. Okay, so round 3 of draft picks. So Shawn Michaels is about to get started, and he's cut off by Brock Lesnar. So Adam Pearce runs over to Lesnar and walks alongside him. So Lesnar scares him away. Lesnar walks around the ring. He has his black cowboy hat on and a trench coat. So Lesnar gets in the ring. Cody looks and looks coldly into the camera. Lesnar asks, Fort Worth, Texas, how does it feel? How does it feel to be looking at the only real cowboy in the state? So then out comes Adam Pearce. He's got a bunch of security. So Adam Pearce says that the WWE Draft trumps everything, which is bullshit. If Lesnar won't leave, his gentleman will help him leave. Lesnar says it'll take more men than that. It'll take more men than that. And more security guards, they run down. So there's about 20 security guards. So Lesnar just looks down at them and dips out. So Brock prepares for Cody Rhodes to come down to the ring. Cody Rhodes' music hits. And then Cody attacks Lesnar from behind. He punches him in the face. Lesnar dips out. And then security forces, they run down and they hold Rhodes back and everything else. So Lesnar suffered a nosebleed. And then Cody Rhodes just shouts, "Make me earn it." Again, it doesn't matter. Who cares? This is boring to me. So Shawn Michaels is then back for the third draft pick. The third round of the draft. So SmackDown selects Asuka. Raw selects The New Day. SmackDown selects the Brawling Brutes. And Monday Night Raw selects Raquel Rodriguez and Liv Morgan. Who cares? None of this even matters. Like, the New Day, stale as hell because they've been there for years. The Brawling Brutes, I'm fine with. Asuka, I'm fine with. Oof. Moving on. Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, they're backstage with Matt Riddle. So he walks up to them. Riddle is excited that they all got drafted to Raw so they can keep hanging out. On Saturday, they beat up the Bloodline. Tonight, Riddle will beat up Jimmy Uso. So Kevin Owens is concerned. He sounds concerned that Matt Riddle thinks that they'll be hanging out all the time. Yeah, I would be doing the same thing, Kevin. I know how you feel. Matt Riddle versus Jimmy Uso. So Jay Uso, he brings a chair into the ring, and the referee ejects him. So Matt Riddle wins via the Broton. Who cares? Well, no, the floating bro. My God, who really cares though? Who cares? So we get a good little video package hyping up Io Sky. So Paul Heyman, he's backstage with Solo. So he's putting him up with his match. My bad. So Paul Heyman is talking with Solo. And he's pumping him up for his match against Seth Rollins later on in the night. Jey Uso comes in and asks why his brother wasn't at ringside. Solo turns to him, but Heyman holds him back. So Paul says Solo is staying concentrated on his assignment from the tribal chief. Heyman says they'll leave the room for Jey to have some introspection. So Heyman and Solo, they walk off, and Heyman half-heartedly shouts that the tribal chief loves Jey Uso. So again, more bloodline dissension. I do like that, but I don't understand why the Usos just couldn't get drafted on Friday. Don't understand it. Doesn't make any sense. Nothing makes sense on this show. Nothing. So round 4 of the draft. So it's RVD and Eric Bischoff. They're doing the draft pick, which is really cool. So Monday Night Raw selects Trish Stratus. I don't know why. That was a waste of a draft pick. I know Trish Stratus is probably going to be part-time. She's not going to do this full-time, I don't think. I would hope not. And I like Trish, but I would hope she's not going to do this full-time. I would assume she's just going to do this part-time, right? I would assume she's just going to feud with Becky Lynch for up till SummerSlam and then go away for a while. I don't know. Damn. So RVD announces that Karrion Kross and Scarlett got drafted to SmackDown. Shayna Baszler and Ronda Rousey, they're going to Raw. That's fine. And LA Knight is going to SmackDown. Cool. So, fine there, I guess. Moving on. So The Miz is out next. He says he's the biggest pick of the WWE Draft so far. Miz wants to introduce a new Raw superstar, Shinsuke Nakamura. How is Shinsuke Nakamura new? He's been on Raw several times before. He's not new. Come on, man. So Nakamura makes his way to the ring. So Miz dances horribly as Nakamura makes his entrance. So Miz welcomes Nakamura to Monday Night Raw. Nakamura's done a lot in WWE and has had a lot of opportunity to be, now he has an opportunity to be the first ever World Heavyweight Champion. And then he asks, does Nakamura have a chance? Nakamura says hi. Miz says Nakamura obviously doesn't want to answer. Miz is the workhorse that Triple H was talking about. Miz is the epitome of a workhorse. Nakamura would be a great number 2. They can help each other out. They can form a partnership and combine their brands to be Miz K Nakamura. Things are different on Raw than they are on SmackDown. You need someone to watch your back. Who better watch your back than the face of Monday Night Raw? So Nakamura sarcastically thanks Miz and says Miz has more experience than him. Nakamura says something in Japanese. Miz gets excited and repeating the phrase over and over again. Nakamura chuckles and says it translates to tiny balls. So Miz is not happy. So Nakamura ducks a clothesline from the Miz, and then he hits the Miz in the mid. He kicks the Miz in the midsection, and then he connects with the Kinshasa. So there was that. Okay. Next, Omos versus Anthony Alanis or whatever his name is. Who cares? A jobber, basically. So Omos squashes him in like 15 seconds. Who cares? Who gives a shit? The fifth round of the draft picks, which involved Molly Holly and Road Dogg Jesse James. So, Braun Strowman and Ricochet are going to Raw. Shotzi's going to SmackDown. Bronson Reed is going to Raw. And Pretty Deadly, my boys Pretty Deadly, they're going to SmackDown. Great. So, okay picks there, I would assume. So, I'm glad. Pretty Deadly, I think they'll be fine on the main roster. I do. I think that Raw would be a better fit for them because that could be where they do a lot more comedic stuff there. I don't know, but I think they'll do well on SmackDown. I do. Because there were rumors that they were going to align them with Seth Rollins, but that's not going to be the case. So, yeah. Moving on. So, the Judgment Day, they're up next. So, Damian Priest tells everyone to rise. So, then Rhea Ripley, she gets on the mic. She laughs and asks if there was really any doubt who was the first draft pick. She says, Mommy's always on top. Oh, God, I'm so tired of this whole dominatrix gimmick that she's doing. She says that the Judgment Day runs Monday Night Raw. And this Saturday at Backlash, Zelina Vega is going to forget everything she's done on SmackDown when she pretzels her and reminds everyone why she's the most dominant champion in WWE. Finn Balor says that Rhea is going to flick Vega down. Balor has some bad news for Bad Bunny because Priest is going to leave fluffy pieces of him around Puerto Rico. What the hell? The hell is this shit? So, Damian Priest says that he wants Bad Bunny to listen to his words carefully because he's choosing them very carefully. So then, Damian Priest cuts a long promo in Spanish. So Bad Bunny may be a huge musical star, but in this ring, Priest is the star. Bad Bunny will have all his family and fans, but Priest will take him out in Puerto Rico. Then Damian Priest speaks in English and says Bad Bunny will receive his punishment at Backlash. So Dominic gets on the mic, and he can't even get a word in, and this was actually great. This is why Dom is like the actual best heel in the industry. And yes, that includes Roman Reigns and MJF. He's better than both of them because he actually gets legit, get the fuck out of here heat. And I love it. He gets nuclear heat. He couldn't get a word in. This was great. He was getting booed out of the building. So Balor tells Mysterio to ignore the crowd. So Dominic tries to speak. A huge "You Suck" chant breaks out. So he then tries to speak again. He can't do it. This is great. I love it. Love it. So Dominic then quickly shouts over that he can't wait for Mommy and Priest to dominate at Backlash. Mysterio says they'll dominate Zelina. Dominic Mysterio says they'll dominate Zelina and his deadbeat dad as well as Santos Escobar. Since the LWO got drafted to SmackDown, it's the last night he'll get to embarrass his father and his loser friends. They run away and hide on Friday nights. And then out comes Ray. Ray says no one is running or hiding. They were selected by SmackDown to compete on Friday nights. Ray is glad they won't be in the same brand. If Dominic thought getting whooped by the belt at WrestleMania was bad, if they stayed on the same brand, he had brought out La Chicana I have no idea what that means. I don't know, but the crowd popped, and I got a little laugh of it out of it. And then he says that the Judgment Day is going to get beat by the LWO. That leads us into a mixed person, 6-person tag match. And the Judgment Day gets the win. Towards the end of the match, Finn Balor gets involved. He distracts Rey Mysterio because he was going to 619 Dom. And so Balor ate the 619, and that allowed Damian Priest to hit the Staff of Heaven, 1, 2, 3. So I'm glad this feud is over with between the two factions, basically. So this allows Rey to rebuild LWO because they've been eating L's for weeks now, it seems like. Moving on. Kathy Kelly, she's backstage with Cody Rhodes. So, Cody Rhodes proved that Brock is human tonight. Lesnar doesn't have to win on Saturday. Rhodes has to win. If he doesn't, then the whole idea of finishing the story is over and he goes to the back of the line. And Cody says he's never going to back to the line ever again. And then Byron Saxton, he's out next with Bianca Belair. So Byron asks her about being drafted to SmackDown. Belair says it doesn't matter what brand she's on as long as she can represent the WWE Universe to the best of her abilities. She's going to send Io Sky to SmackDown empty-handed. So Damage Control, they come in. Bayley asks Byron why is he interviewing Bianca when he should be interviewing the top 3 picks in the draft. They beat the women's tag champs earlier. So Bianca will be blue when Io takes the title from her. Belair says she was always been impressed by Io and knew she'd be special when she debuted at SummerSlam. Instead, Io is attached to 2 females holding her back, which I agree with. Io will get a chance to finally shine, but only after Belair beats her at Backlash. And then Io Sky shouts to her in Japanese. Bianca tells Dakota Kai she doesn't need to translate because they understand each other. Okay, weird there. And then round 6 of the draft pick of the draft. So Teddy Long and JBL, they come out. So Rick Boogs is going to SmackDown, which is cool. KC Squared, Katana Chance and Kaden Carter, they're going to Raw. So that yet again, a match that's taking place tomorrow on NXT doesn't make any sense. Now both teams are being drafted. It's like they shouldn't even have the match. I don't know. And then Cameron Grimes, he's going to go to SmackDown. So that's cool. And then we get the main event. Seth Rollins versus Solo Sikoa. That basically ends in a no contest because the Usos come down and get involved. Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn and Matt Riddle, they come out, and there's a massive brawl that ensues, and we go off the air. And that was Monday Night Raw. This show sucked. It sucked. Oh my God, it sucked. How the mighty have fallen. How the mighty have fallen. A waste of 3 hours. A waste. So what did you guys think? Let me know. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and comment down below. I'll catch you guys later. Man, this show was awful as shit. I don't care who booked it. Whether it was Vince or Triple H or a combination of the two. Both of those guys deserve to be smacked in the face.
To the end.